In this video, I'm going to discuss how to change the camshaft adjuster bolts on Porsche sports cars fitted with the 9A1 engine. The Porsche 9A1 engines have proven themselves to be very robust, but there is an issue that seems to be appearing in cars with a lot of track use that, if not addressed, can cause significant engine damage. Each intake camshaft has an adjuster unit attached. The adjusters are held together by 4 screws, which are made of aluminium and, under extreme loads of track use, have been known to back out and break. This video is going to show you how to preventatively replace each of these screws with far stronger fasteners that will stop this problem from ever occurring. Firstly, I'd like to thank Kevin Grealish, who brought this to my attention and provided me with many of the images and videos that you will see during the video. The cam adjusters are fitted to the chain sprocket end of each intake camshaft with the 4 screws on the engine side of each adjuster. Whilst this looks like a bit of a nightmare to get to, it's surprisingly easy. The basics of the procedure are to remove the exhaust manifold and cylinder head covers, which will expose the adjuster and screws. Note that only the exhaust manifold needs to be removed. The rear section of the exhaust can stay in place. Then rotate the engine to expose each screw one at a time, replace, Loctite and torque, and then rotate the engine some more to expose the next screw, and so on. I'm not going to cover all of the procedures required, as I've covered all of these in videos I've made previously. I'll put links to all of these in the description. In addition to removing both valve covers, you will also need access to the top and front of the engine. Once you have access to the rear of each cam adjuster, you will need to rotate the engine for access to each screw for access and replacement. I normally do this by rotating the alternator pulley. You will need to remove the small cover on the pulley to get access with a 10mm triple square tool. On the 2.7 litre engine this works fine, but on the 3.4 litre engine the pulley is a one-way type. This means you can only turn the engine over in the opposite direction. Whilst some may say this is dangerous, I've done this numerous times without issue. It won't damage the chain guides or tensioners, and if you're worried about the chain jumping on the cam sprockets, you can observe what is going on easily as you have the cylinder head covers removed. To reduce the effort to turn the engine over, I'd suggest removing the spark plugs, which is pretty simple as the coils need to have been removed already. When you turn over the engine in the normal direction, expect the oil pump to pump some oil through the engine, which will come out of each head. This will happen even if you drain the oil. To move the screw to the correct position for replacement, it's easiest with 2 people, one to turn the engine over and another underneath checking the screw position as the camshaft turns. When you rotate the engine to expose the next screw, it needs to be in exactly the right location so that your tool isn't impeded by the metal bracket on the chain guide. The screws that have been successfully used in the past by workshops doing this procedure are the following specification: M7 by 1.0mm thread by 20mm thread length, class 12.9. Whilst the 12.9 class is well beyond the requirement, the reason these have been used is because the head is narrow with an Allen key fitting which will fit into the recess on the adjuster. A normal bolt head is too large to fit. Whilst the head height is slightly larger and will sit higher than the OEM screw, it still fits fine with ample clearance. On installation, assure you use a very firm locking compound on the threads like Loctite 263, which is designed for permanent locking in this type of application. Prior to installing, ensure you use compressed air to blow out the holes so that the locking compound is as effective as possible. Torque used is 11 Nm as it's threading into aluminium on the adjuster. This is a low value for an M7 class 12.9 fastener, but the Loctite will ensure it doesn't come loose. When you have replaced all 4 screws on each adjuster, the job is done and you simply need to install the cylinder head covers and exhaust. And then, afterwards, you can rest easy knowing that your engine won't explode as you beat it into submission on the track.